Welcome back to Indian Trace. It has been a little while. I have a cleanup, which I don't do that often, but I had to. I mean, when you have wind that's absolutely whipping and rain steady, soaking wet, muddy, and you're just doing some work out in the woods and out in the fields to find some artifacts if you can. Sometimes it's the best weather in the world to collect, but it'll cost you. It'll cost you to be up to your ankles or knees in mud sometimes, but all of us understand. Last 3-4 days, it's been real busy for me. I've been traveling around a lot, but I get out there every once in a while just to, number one, get some exercise. So I'm going to show you something here, and it's just what I've been able to gather, whether I was out in the pouring and freezing rain today or the heavy mud yesterday. We've had some moisture, which is good, and I've got a lot of sites. I can't get to them all, but I'm going to show you a little bit about what I found with some natural light, and we'll talk about it just a little bit. Maybe some tips for collectors who get out there. It's been fun, and you can see there's some great pieces here. I'll probably do move I guess a section of these into my bin where I'll do a moving day, and I already have an assemblage, if you will, of artifacts that have a place already. This moving day giveaway is going to probably be designated to a whole group of 4th graders, 21 of them or so. It's their time to learn about the North American Indian with my I should just say with a class that I am familiar with, and a teacher I'm married to. This is a nice scraper. Look at this thing. Anyway, I haven't been able to film these out because of conditions. You can see it's all worked off right on the edges. And, you know, you're always out there wondering, well, should I start trying to make a video or not? Outside. I like it outside. But when you have to, you do a cleanup or what have you. And look at this quartz. This piece was found this morning. And this piece was found maybe the day before yesterday at Back Pass. And it actually just has a little bit of a chip off the tip. They had some wicked serrations on that. Now Back Pass often does that. Well-worked base. Oh my. Anyway, what can I say? You know, if you're collecting in heavy mud, here's a tip for you. Or you're out there and it's raining and cold. Your best bet is to find a way to calm down and to relax and to just have certain mantras. You know, I might say to myself, you know what? I love the rain. And the rain makes me happy. It's natural. Just as natural as the sunshine. And I'm out there just walking and trying to relax. And, you know, I don't get down on it. We're such spoiled Americans. You know, sometimes you'll sit out there and be like, oh my God, I can't believe it's raining so much. Look at this piece found at Hidden Hill a couple days ago. It is actually pink, and, well, I don't have any water. You can see where they didn't have to work it at all. That's actually the cortex. They struck that flake off a rock, and that flat edge, they left it and then worked around it. Piece is missing just a little out of the tip. Anyway, huge tip. I'm out there working. Actually, when it comes to collecting, I actually have to exercise myself in relaxing. Even when the conditions are absolutely perfect, but it's difficult to get through. Look at this. Yadkin. It is just missing the left ear on that, but that's okay. It's a piece of smoky quartz. And so I'm out there working to relax. Actually helps you stay warmer if you relax. If you get uptight, your body gets tense. It's difficult. It's not a nice piece. It's difficult to stay warm, but it's hard to stay warm when it's 50 degrees and raining and you're soaking wet. So it's a matter of attrition too. How long can you bear it? You have to accept long periods of time and discomfort sometimes to find the type of artifacts that you see on Indian Trace. So these are going to find a nice home. Probably they will. Maybe the next video we'll be able to get to it. Here's a great group of rhyolite. This is a sort of a round base here. And I don't think I probably posted a video in a week, but that's fine. There's a lot of videos. If you go back in time, look at this piece. That's a heartbreaker. You can see the original color to that rhyolite is a dark army green right here. It's a dark army green. And I just can't afford to get my phone out when it's really sloppy and dirty out there. You know, I'm on a budget and I'm frugal, so I can't mess my phone up, and I don't want to mess things up. Look at this little piece. You know how it is out there. I'll let all that go. No big deal. Here's some great materials. And keep an eye on my channel. I got a fella named Mike, and his last name is about as many letters as forever is. Anyway, don't want to pronounce it the wrong way, Mike. He's probably going to have a video up. Keep an eye on my channel. Follow backwards on Mike's comments. It's not Brooksy, and it's not Jonesy, but a lot of people named Mike. Follow it. He follows me, but I think there's a fellow that liked him and his grandson and stepped up and is going to give him some really great artifacts. So I want to see that too. I want to see what he gets. People are generous and have stepped up. I found this first thing, maybe 2 minutes, 3 steps onto the field today. Just running out there. It's, of course, all of this quartz is translucent. I just wanted to give you a clean up with a group of quartz. Rhyolite character in stages. The North American Indian. As always, when it's really hard going, what I'll do is I'll step up and I'll go out, look at these pieces. We'll talk about these a little bit. Really step up, and I decide I'll choose based on location where I know for sure. Then I can take a little bit extra time in some of the hot spots. And not a whole lot of people have been able to get out. I don't even have that many people collect at all on the sites that I'm at, which I'm very fortunate. But the early bird always gets the worm. So I am always diligent. I don't know who might trail through there after I'm done, but look at that stem on the base. Found at the easement. It's interesting, you know, they left that mountain up there and then worked off the edges. I know what a lot of fellows say and everything, but that is what I believe made to get suited up on a heavy caliber atlatl, and it's probably not spear, but I mean it probably carries some velocity. It's good stuff though, isn't it? This is an interesting piece. It could be a preform, but it is so worn, and the patina is consistent. It's preform either. If it is, they just threw it aside. Other than that, it could be something, a shape so uniform, and I know you can see they've been working off the edges here. If I got distracted, I was sharing a message about collecting, but don't worry about it. Some cortex here, and the reason I picked this up is because this stuff is not around. This is a piece of rhyolite. It's not indigenous. There's the original color of it right there. Deep army green. See a piece of the cortex here. Maybe it was a traveling piece that they struck off and quickly worked, but I wouldn't say that they would have messed around to make it uniform or to make the edges with edge work. In some ways, even a little bit of beveling on the front, if they weren't also using it for something else. And it would have scraped the heck out of anything. God knows they had a lot of things to scrape, wood or hide. I knew they were messing around with this, and therefore I know it's an artifact, but I always find nice pieces like that of rhyolite, and it's not always in that shape. But I know it comes from 13 days of foot travel, one direction from here in the mountains, and it's not around here in the ground like the quartz is. Anyway, this is getting long. Last, but probably a favorite, is a hammerstone I found today. In Rob, it's got that curious, it's not a nutting stone, everybody. They're not sitting there cracking one nut at a time. There's lots of reasons for that. They definitely have worked holes consistently into these things. Of course, you can see a good angle on the working edge of this. Old break, nothing new on that. Catching the working edge. You feel it, it's much more grippy. It's a quartzite, but the working edge have real grip. You can tell they just either were flaking, fine using it. Those who nap, you know exactly what you're looking at. It's a great stone. It's a great stone. And look at the indentation on this thing. I don't know if that's coming in real well, everybody. Curious how they worked with these things that we're looking at right here. If we could get a good picture of how they worked with these three alone, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? All right, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in to Indian Trace. Hope you find out there.